From Orange County, South Carolina Championship Soccer Stadium, the Orange County Soccer Club going for their first victory of 2019, desperate for 3 points against one of the hottest teams in the USL Championship, the Switchbacks of Colorado Springs. Alongside Chris Norse, I'm Matt Schumacher. Chris, let's take a look at our key players to watch today, brought to you by Pro Sport.
Yeah, you see Patrick Mcclain in the sticks for Orange County. You know, the coach spoke during the week about trying to shore up the defense and stop leaking so many goals. And the goalkeeper plays a big part in that. You know, being able to organize and keep his defense tight and compact allows the attacking team to have less goal scoring opportunities. So, going to be interesting to see how Mcclain performs this evening.
And then on the other side, in the sticks, one of the youngest players in the championship right now, Rodriguez.
Yeah, Rodriguez, you know, player of the week, a fantastic performance last week. You know, young ages, the age of 16 is a very, very young age to be in between the sticks of a professional team. But in his first game, he's managed very well. And it'd be interesting to see if he can perform again in the same manner tonight.
Abraham Rodriguez coming off USL Championship Player of the Week. We'll be talking a lot about him. Next, we've got starting lineups and kickoff from Orange County.
New Canada Dry Ginger Ale and Lemonade. The perfect blend of real ginger taste with a splash of real juice. Are you ready to taste Nirvana?
Hey, honey! Do we want to taste Nirvana?
Yeah, sure.
How long have you been sitting in my yard?
Since Tuesday.
Try new Canada Dry Ginger Ale and Lemonade.
The Orange County Soccer Club Pro Experience membership, designed to accelerate your training and enable you to reach the professional performance levels of the biggest leagues around the world. Membership includes free tickets to 7 home matches, training sessions with coaches and technical director Franz Hoke, live events with leading soccer minds like Brad Friedel, Raphael Wicki, and Keisuke Honda, and many additional benefits. Go to orangecountysoccer.com/pro experience.
Back from beautiful Irvine, California, Championship Soccer Stadium. Kickoff just around the corner between Orange County SC and Colorado Springs. Matt Schumacher, Chris Norse with you as we take a look at our starting lineups presented by Adidas, the official merchandise of Orange County SC. And this is a team, Chris, we talked about it just a moment ago. They've really struggled conceding goals this year. 11 goals conceded already. That's tops in the USL.
Yeah, I think if you look at the lineup, you know, they've gone for a 4-1-4-1 formation. If you look at the spine of the team with Trotter, Hume, Leonardo and Mcclain, you know, they want to start to concede less goals. And with these kind of experienced figures in the center of the field, you'd expect that they'll be able to be disciplined, organized, and now start to take offense of that potent attack that they have, but start to keep more clean sheets.
Trotter got his first start against El Paso last week, back in the lineup again. And then on the other side for Steve Tritschu, the starting 11, Mike Seth up top this week. And then the youngster Hundley on the left side on loan from Minnesota, or from Colorado rather. a tremendous talent.
Yeah, we know this team is obviously the feeder team for Colorado, and they're not afraid to use youth. You know, they have a lot of young players in their team. The coach this week has discussed about being able to play out from the back better and keeping possession of the ball better in this 4-3-3 formation. It's going to be interesting to see how they perform against a very experienced Orange County team.
Tonight's injury report brought to you by Hoag Orthopedic Institute, and a couple of players out. Andre Rawls out tonight for the Switchbacks. Of course, he helped Orange County last season make it all the way to the Western Conference Final. He should be back next week. And then Christian Duke out for Orange County with a pectoral surgery. He is expected to miss at least another month, but hoping that he gets back a bit quicker. A gorgeous night as the sun is setting in Irvine, California. Kickoff just around the corner, and Orange County really desperate for 3 points. Perhaps their worst start in the last couple of seasons. No wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws so far.
Yeah, I think they've only picked up 2 points out of a possible 12, and that's not championship form. They're a team who are very, very high expectancies based upon how they performed last year, and the coach will be looking to see a big turnaround starting this evening.
Meanwhile, on the other side, the Switchbacks coming off what was the most disappointing season in club history, finishing 10th in the table last year, having one of the better starts in the USL. 2-1-1, and currently 4th in the West with 7 points. Orange County in the all-black uniforms with orange trim. Switchbacks in the all-white. Glad to have you with us for this late start on the East Coast. What are you looking for in tonight's match?
I think Orange County want to be aggressive in how they start the game. You know, they've not had the best start to the season so far, and I think an early goal would help them to get that momentum and that confidence going into the latter stages of the game. They're at the home team. You know, the fans, they're expecting them to get victories based upon the success they had last year. Now it's a case of, you know, can they match those expectancies?
There's a ball up ahead. Looking for Darwin Jones, and a foul gives it back to the Switchbacks. Jones back up top, thanks to Michael Seton coming back into the lineup. And I know that's a player that you've been looking at for Orange County. He was out for a couple of games with injury, and that really shook some things up and limited their scoring opportunities.
Yeah, Seton's one of their most potent attacking threats, and with him back in the lineup, you know, they pose more going forward. But the problem they've had so far is conceding goals at the back. We know that they can score goals, they have good attacking players, but it's the problem of leaking goals at the back, and that's where I think the coach is going to pay most of attention in this game, if they can stop leaking goals.
And really, that's been the difference between these two sides this season. They've both scored 7 goals. The difference, though, Colorado Springs has only conceded 4, while Orange County has conceded 11, which is tied with LA for the most in the USL Championship.
Yeah, if you're conceding 11 goals a game, that's in just 4 games, that's almost 3 goals every single game, and that's definitely not form that's going to take you into the playoffs or into the championship or to be a regular season champion. So immediately that's something they need to settle down and start to keep more clean sheets.
Head coach Braden Cloutier told us this week in the build-up to this match that he feels like it may take just 1 or 2 goals to really get this team back on track. They've had a lot of movement and inconsistency in terms of the lineup, with injuries and new players being signed and coming on. They've started 3 keepers in the last 3 games, 3 different keepers in the last 3 games, and now getting some consistency from Patrick Mcclain tonight, making his 2nd start for the club.
Yeah, the coach made it pretty clear that Mcclain, he's brought him in to be the #1 keeper. So, you know, that gives them a little bit more stability, that, you know, somebody that they can work with and try to build around from the back going forward.
There's Darwin Jones, chipping it in with the left and over the top bar. Nothing too dangerous, but a couple of players down in the 6. Just a bit of a collision at the very end.
I think Orange County have definitely started the first 5 minutes of the game as the most aggressive team. You know, they've had the majority of possession. They've been a few counter-attacks from the wide areas, but they've not actually tested the keeper as yet. You know, I think very early on in the game, they want to get a shot off on the keeper, test him, see if he's very good in goal, see if he's confident, you know, start to put that pressure on the Colorado defense.
Harry Forrester right there, getting a bit tangled up under his own power, though. Meanwhile, on the back line, couldn't quite see who that was. Either Reeves or Jack, the two center backs tonight for the Switchbacks. And it was Jamal Jack up slowly, but good news for Colorado Springs, walking off under his own power.
Seems to be a knee injury. Hopefully he can shake that off. He seems to be moving it a little bit limp right now. Hopefully a couple minutes and he's able to get himself back onto the field.
Well, he's the rock of the back line if you talk to Steve Tritschu. He's in his second season, made 34 appearances in 2018. And Coach Tritt feels like the defense this year is definitely better than it was last year. We've seen that early on, although there's only 4 games. How much stake do you put in the first 4 games for the Switchback team?
I think defense, especially, you want consistency in your defense. So being able to have him here for his second year, you know, is a huge part of being able to build a squad going forward, especially a squad capable of competing. You know, he understands what the coach requires. He understands how he likes the team to defend from the back, and he's able to dictate and command that from his other teammates. So he's a massive part of what the team is trying to build.
Out for a throw, Kevin Alston. In his second season with Orange County. Orange County have tallied 7 goals this season. One thing that Braden Cloutier was really emphasizing was getting back to organizing. He said, you can't run before you crawl. And he feels like his team maybe lacked that organizational mentality on the back 4 especially, and that has been a major point of emphasis in training.
Yeah, you know, it's a common trait in how the game's developing recently, that teams focus a lot more on attacking than defending. And when they focus on the attacking, they almost forget about the transition into defense. And as much as they score goals, they can concede almost twice as many. So they have to remember that, you know, defense more often than not wins championships. When teams are able to keep clean sheets and win goals by 1-0 and those kind of margins, they're normally teams that are able to go and do big things, because they're able to pick up results even when they're not performing so well. You know, if you're always reluctant on your team to score 3 or 4 goals, that's not going to happen every week. You know, you need to have that strong defense just to give you that safety cushion.
Fans' time is running out to secure a season seat membership for the 2019 season, including the buy 2 season seats. Get 2 free while there is still time. Visit orangecountysoccer.com. Certainly Orange County, the aggressors in these opening 10 minutes from Irvine, California. Playing with a sense of urgency, understanding that 4 games in, still just 2 points in league play.
Yeah, I think the ambition in this game has to be to stop the rot. You know, they have to come away with a victory. I don't think the coach is going to take any other result in this game apart from a victory. Colorado, on the other hand, you know, they're sitting back. They're allowing Orange County the possession of the ball. They're not really trying to close them down or be too intense right now. Almost trying to frustrate Orange County in their build-up to the attack.
The interesting thing, too, we were talking with Coach Cloutier a couple of days ago, and he felt like this club is coming off the worst loss, the worst performance that he's seen in his tenure, which started back in 2015. They lost 2-0 to El Paso. And he just felt like the urgency wasn't there, said that the team is coming off a great week of training. And they're primed for a win tonight.
Yeah, and I think one thing the coach wouldn't have gone into details with us. When a coach says that they had their worst performance, you know, he would have probably read the riot act to the players, because he's put a lot of trust in these players. He's brought them in, he's worked through them for the whole of pre-season. There's a lot of experience in the team, so the expectancies from the team's very high. And when a coach says that they've had their worst performance, I'm sure you know he wasn't talking to them in the nicest tone when he's explaining to them what he expects from them. So he's looking for a reaction out of those players in this game today.
He said this is a club that probably overachieved a little bit last year, making it all the way to the Western Conference Final before falling to Phoenix Rising. Who then lost to Louisville City in a run for back-to-back championships. But this is a team that finished atop the West last season with the second most wins in all of the USL Championship at 20. Now perhaps something building here for Michael Seton.
Yeah, but I think one thing that the coach wants to develop is good habits. You know, if you're a losing team and you continue to lose, losing becomes a habit. And it starts to creep into the psychology of the players, starts to creep into the psychology of the club. You know, a winning club, they win things, and it consistently breeds confidence. It breeds positive things in the club generally. So whether it's the early season, the mid-season, or rolling into the playoffs, coaches always want to develop a culture and a habit of winning games. And I think that's something that the coach wants to address at the earliest, because 5 games into the season now, you know, it starts to become into the psychology of the players that they're not picking up wins.
First time tonight that we've seen Colorado Springs into the area, and a chance tipped over the top part, and you see there the frustration from Kevin Alston.
And this is almost what we're discussing. For all the possession and dominance that Orange County have had, they should be 1-0 down. That should be a goal.
Just sneaking into the back line, Cesar Romero.
I think it was harder for him to miss there than to score. He had the whole goal. The goalkeeper was completely out. Any connection he made, I'm not sure quite how he's managed to put that one over the crossbar.
Well, a sigh of relief from Patrick Mcclain, his second start in net for Braden Cloutier and Orange County.
You know, and the challenge for Orange County is, can they keep a clean sheet? As much as getting their first win, being able to get that first clean sheet is also vitally just as important, because they've conceded 11 goals. So in the back of the players' minds now, they know they're going to concede goals. You know, they need that clean sheet just to give themselves some confidence also.
Restart on a whistle from our referee tonight, Malik Badal. Then our 2 ARs, Joshua Hames and Christopher Calderon.
Orange County just being very patient in their build-up. You know, they're not rushing it. They're playing with an intensity, but, you know, they're content to keep possession of the ball, make Colorado work. The difficult part is the more Colorado don't have the work, the more Colorado don't have the ball, the harder they have to work, because it makes you very tired when you're chasing the ball when you don't have possession. So as the game goes on, if they continue to allow Orange County to have the dominant possession of the ball, it's going to wear down on their legs into the latter stages of the game.
Forrester on the wide side. Ball coming across looking for Jones. Forrester. Wide to Jones. Darwin Jones punched out by Rodriguez and tipped out of the 18.
Now that's the first time we see Orange County test the goalkeeper. Not the best first touch there from Jones, but he managed to get a strike off on goal. Somebody was following up the rebound. That could have been Orange County's chance to take the lead there.
It's funny, you talked a moment ago about possession and how Colorado Springs having to work hard early. Possession is something that they've done a really good job at maintaining at points this year. In fact, in the first 3 matches this season, they led in possession. And Steve Trittschuh told us that's the first time in club history that his team has consistently led in possession.
Yeah, and I think it speaks of how much they respect Orange County. You know, the tactic they've adopted, they've dropped off deeper than halfway line when Orange County get possession of the ball. Almost to tell them, you know, if your centre-backs have the ball, we're not going to come and pressure you. You know, we're content for you to let your centre-backs have the ball, play from side to side. But once you get into our final third, that's when they're going to put the pressure on them. So it shows that Orange County are respected by Colorado. So, you know, despite their results, teams still fear them. Or their lack of results, should I say, in the early season.
Certainly has been a bit of a surprise, especially for the local supporters. The Orange County faithful. The interesting thing, too, is that the turnaround that they had last year maybe wasn't necessarily expected at the beginning of the season. Again, this is a team that in 2017 finished 10th with a 500 record at 11-11-10. And then they come back the next year and they have a 9-win improvement, which is one of the best in the USL Championship.
Yeah, and the challenge now is can they build upon that? So we've shown that, you know, in 2 years they were able to develop and build, and the third year, obviously, based upon what they achieved, it's hard to replicate, but they need to maintain being close to those standards. So that they may not be able to maintain that same record, but the expectancy is that they can get somewhere close to that. So they're not dropping off, but, you know, they're continuing to build step by step.
Restart coming. Jones getting tripped up. Rather, that was Matt Hundley. And Hundley making his second start tonight.
Just lunging in there, didn't quite make any contact with the ball. Definitely a referee got that decision correct.
So it's Jones and Hundley over the ball. Jones to take. And headed out for a corner kick.
Not defended the best there with big imposing figures at the back there like Leonardo and Hume. You'd expect the aerial balls and crosses were something that Orange can be very comfortable to deal with. You know, that's going to be something they want to address, because that's the last thing they want to be conceding goals from set pieces.
Look there at Patrick Mcclain, recent signing. His first start for the club last week, and as Chris talked about earlier, the expectation is for him to come in and sort of be that steadying force of the back. And we will have another corner kick. This OCSC corner kick fueled by Shell Fuel Rewards. Text now to 83835. That's 83835 to download the app and begin saving on fuel. Jones back out to take another corner.
The referee keeping a close eye on some pushing and shoving in the box here.
Lofting it in, but not enough behind it, and Harry Forrester punches it away. But now Hundley with a chance. Jones all over him. Hundley, not much behind that.
Some nice footwork there from Hundley, but the little toe poke at the end was a pretty tame shot at goal. You know, he'd have been better off setting somebody else out or getting the ball out of feet and really driving and testing the keeper.
Matt Hundley on loan from the Colorado Rapids. A number of players on this roster this season on loan from the Rapids with that new affiliation. And Steve Tritchu said it was a situation where in years past they've had that relationship, but now the affiliation is official.
Yeah.
And so now you've got a plethora of players coming down, and he said it's really up the depth and the competition on the training ground.
Yeah, you know, it has its plus, but it also has its negatives. If players are always coming up and down, you lack that stability of a consistent roster, you know, and then you have the decision of who's really picking the team, because if the parent comes and says, you know, I want this kid to get some minutes, I want this guy to play, you know, it takes the power out of the coach's hands of what he may have been potentially training and developing his team to do for the whole week. So, you know, there's like the pros and cons of it.
Ball out of play, and it'll go back to Colorado Springs. The Sports Clips 5-game flex package is the perfect ticket program for your busy schedule. You choose the matchups you want to see for the schedule that works for you. Plans start at just $95 per seat. Pick one up at orangecountysoccer.com. The Sports Clips 5-game flex package, just $95. You can get down here to Irvine, California. I'll tell you what, partner, there aren't a whole lot of better places to watch a match in the USL than a championship stadium.
Beautiful stadium, beautiful surface. $95, I think I would purchase one.
There you go. Shell it out, right? It's worth it.
Definitely.
What are your impressions here as we get almost 20 minutes through the first half? A little action here, wide to Hundley, but well defended on the back line again by Kevin Alston.
both teams now just starting to find their footing in the game. You know, for the first time in the game there, we saw Colorado start to put their first passage of the game where they put 4 or 5 passes together. Orange County they want to score a goal sooner or later. You know, they're at home in front of your home fans, in front of your whole crowd. Everybody's waiting to see you get your first win. That's only going to happen by putting the ball into the back of the net. And you know, you can possess the ball all you please. It's got to count in the final third. And so far, you know, they've only managed to test the keeper once in a game where they should probably be 1-0 down right now, based upon the chance that Colorado had early on.
There was a brief flash in front of net, and quite frankly, that's the only chance tonight that Colorado Springs has created for itself. Right in front of the mouth of goal, and it went just high. Orange County has dominated possession, but it hasn't really led to many threatening opportunities.
And I think if Colorado recognize where they're strong going forward, you know, Hume at the back, he's not the most mobile fella, he's not the quickest. If they can isolate him one-on-one with the forward, they have a good chance of scoring opportunities there. Leonardo is obviously rebuilding his fitness. You know, he hasn't played for a long time. The coach has spoke. You know, he's probably just trained for 2 weeks now. So there's an opportunity there to catch them where they're not so fresh at the back. But if they just drop off and allow Orange County to have possession of the ball without really pressuring them at the back, you know, they lose that opportunity.
Switchbacks with 11 new players of significance, either in the starting 11 or getting playing time off the bench. 2 new keepers, including Andre Rawls, who's out tonight, but he helped this Orange County team get to the Western Conference Final last season, and now here comes Darwin Jones.
Just not enough pace on that cross to find anybody in the box.
And a foul. And it goes back to Orange County.
Orange County also have Quinn on the bench, who's currently their top goal scorer, albeit he takes the set pieces, he takes penalties, but you know, that's also more offensive power that they have at some point that they can bring on in this game.
He's just coming back from injury as well. We talked about some of the injury issues that Orange County has had. Of course, Christian Duke's still out, but Quinn was out, Seton was out, and Quinn is back available, but he's missed the last 2 games.
And he's one of the players that's been a permanent fixture in the team, a very important player for this team. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see once he gets himself back into the line, if he's able to regain his spot.
Had 11 goals last year during that run to the Western Conference Final for Orange County. And he scored a goal in each of the first 2 games. So certainly Orange County missing that firepower up top. They finally have Darwin Jones back in an attacking position. He had for the last couple of games been playing more in a midfield role because of the injury to Michael Seton. The question right now, can Colorado Springs maintain possession for some semblance of time and get organized?
Their tactics are working pretty effectively now. They're allowing Orange County to have the ball, but there's a lot of backwards and sideways passes from Orange County that aren't really hurting them. And then they're managing to steal the ball when they get frustrated, but it's what they do when they manage to steal the ball and get possession. They now need to create their own goal-scoring opportunities.
Good crowd on hand tonight from Irvine, California. Championship Soccer Stadium.
You can just hear the coach shouting to keep the ball. Just keep the ball for a little while. Build their own momentum, build their own confidence. You know, just keep the ball and gradually find themselves into this game the same way that Orange County have.
And in the background, the drums of the County Line Coalition. Played back to the Player of the Week in the USL, Abraham Rodriguez, just 16 years of age. Second youngest player in the history of the league to win Player of the Week. Play on, says the referee. Now something building perhaps for the Switchbacks. Wide to Cesar Romero. Low ball in and handled well by Patrick Mcclain.
Jack there kick-starting that attack, driving with the ball forward from centre back. Almost looked like a midfielder the way he's moving forward with the ball, but there's an opportunity here because he's very much out of position right now.
Jack showing some mobility from the back. I think the knee is fine, which is good news.
Well, he's still not back in position now, and we're 30 seconds since he went on that attack.
Not used to bringing the ball all the way up to the attacking third from the back line. Here's a ball in from Forrester. Shane Malcolm goes down and a restart coming, and some chippiness on the far side. And now a brief talking to from the referee, Malik Badal.
And we talk about Rodriguez being just 16 years in goal. It's such a young, tentative age to be able to make your debut as a professional goalkeeper.
Malcolm, a bit tangled up there. Competitive juice is flowing tonight.
Yeah, very fortunate. You know, in the way the game is right now, anytime you lift your hands and put them into the body or the face of an opponent, you run the risk of the referee giving you a card. You know, by the book, the second you raise your arms is a card. So he's lucky the referee's been very lenient with him there.
You would never.
I would.
You would never.
I have.
The heat of the moment.
The heat of the moment, but you have to think twice about it now. There was a time when referees would just tell you to get on with it. The way the game is played now, that's no longer the case. You know, they brandish the cards immediately.
It was a nice run on the far side, but just out of his reach. Jordan Burt coming all the way up from the back line. The interesting thing about Jordan Burt, a closer look at him, he's got 2 goals this year. And in recent years, Steve Trittschuh has sort of allowed him to play more freely. He's the only player on this club who's been here from its inception. And over the last 2 seasons, 15 goals.
Yeah, I think he got on the score sheet in the last game against Phoenix. I think they named it the Mysterical Mustache. I think that's what the magical.
The Miracle Mustache.
The Miracle Mustache. Scores again, I think that's what they said. Yeah, very important figure for this team.
Darwin Jones again. They've played through him quite frequently tonight on the right side. Looking for Forrester, and just a touch beyond his reach and into the midst of Abraham Rodriguez.
Yeah, you see the ball being delivered into the box there, not with any kind of real purpose or quality. He's just driving it in, hoping that anything happens. And that's what can happen when you drive the ball into the box. You can get a deflection off a defending player and find itself into the back of the net. Rodriguez was well positioned there to clean it up nicely.
He had 11 saves last week in his Player of the Week performance against Phoenix Rising. And, you know, it's funny, we were talking with Steve Trittschuh, and you know, we've discussed it a little bit throughout the course of these first 30 minutes. He's so young, and he hasn't had a lot of professional experience, quite frankly. And Steve said, look, our message to him has been all about consistency and sort of keeping that level-headedness.
Yep. And one thing specifically with goalkeepers, because of the nature of their position, they're very much alone, you know, and if they make a mistake normally turns into a goal. The psychology of goalkeepers is very, very delicate. And it's something that at 16 years old, you know, can he hack that consistently? I don't think so, but it's fantastic for him to get that opportunity and experience at such a young age, because now when he gets to 20, he's going to have a good amount of appearances under his belt. You know, goalkeepers are able to play the game a little bit longer than outfield players, so they don't normally peak until their late 20s, early 30s, but at 16 years old, it's fantastic to see him out there getting that opportunity.
Ball headed away from that back line of Orange County that has had its struggles early in the season. Rodriguez, there he is on your screen, just 16, from Thornton, Colorado. He's a homegrown player on loan from the Rapids, making his second start.
And so far in the opening 30 minutes, you don't get the impression that there's a 16-year-old in goal. You know, he plays very mature, very composed, very calm. You know, he almost provides that assurance to the back four that You know, he's been doing this for 10 years already, which is why he's obviously been given that opportunity. I'm sure the coaches haven't been, you know, rash about it. They think that he's ready to step up into that, and it's a fantastic opportunity at 16 years old to see a goalkeeper given that chance.
And he's not the only youngster, the only teenager on the field tonight for the Switchbacks. Matt Hundley, 18 years old, from Littleton, Colorado, also signed a homegrown contract. 29 on the bottom right of your screen right now. As Rodriguez heads it away. Last week was the first week in club history that they started 2 teenagers at once.
Yeah, and it's great to see. You know, they're not just being given the opportunity because they're young, they're being given the opportunity because they're ready. And it's fantastic to see that players are being produced at 16 and 18 years old, and they're ready to step on the field with grown men, the likes of Liam Trotter, who's played for AFC Wimbledon in the English divisions. You know, the likes of Hume, players who've got over 100 appearances under their belts. You now got teenagers out there on the same field as them, being able to gain experience.
As a young player, and you've played as a young player at a high level, does that ever cross your mind, or as soon as you step over that line, you're not thinking about age and experience versus youth?
No, as a young player, when you step onto the field, you're looking for the older ones to guide you. So you're always listening to their advice on the pitch and trying to follow in their footsteps, because they're obviously veterans. They know what it takes to stay on the field, and obviously you have to become one of the team. And as a young player, it's very important that the older players, you know, guide you into becoming one of the team, and you're accepted as one of the team. So always being able to listen to the older players and learn from them, you know, is very valuable characteristic and skill to have.
Argueta weaving through, leaves it off for Romero. They cleared away. 30 minutes through this first half and still no score from Irvine, California.
The passing is very good. You know, it looks good, but it's at such a slow tempo. It's not really hurting Orange County. You know, they need to speed it up a little bit, where they're able to move the ball quicker and exploit the spaces. But if they just pass it very slowly at the tempo they are, they're not really creating any holes in the Orange County shape to be able to take advantage of.
Crisostomo getting a talking to from Malik Badal. By the way, time is running out to secure a season seat membership for the 2019 season at Orange County, including the buy 2 season seats get 2 free offer. So you get 2, you get 2 free. You can do this, but only a limited time remaining. Go to orangecountysoccer.com for the package. Hundley to throw it in for Colorado. And now he'll leave it off for Jome. To your point, it doesn't really seem like there's been that great of a sense of urgency for the Switchbacks tonight.
Yeah, it's very much an early season game. Urgency is the right word. You know, just when you notice there the ball goes out of play, you know, there's no rush, no urgency or intensity to get the ball back into play and kickstart the attack. And it's the same as the ball moving on the field. You know, there's a lot of nice passing, but it's not really at any great tempo that's able to create anything. It's just a lot of possession, a lot of passing, a lot of backwards and sideways. But it needs to be a lot quicker and a lot more penetrating passes and breaking lines in order to create goal-scoring opportunities. Right now, we're just seeing 2 teams pass the ball around without very much happening.
What would you like to see from Orange County in these last 10 minutes?
I think Orange County got to try to get the goal before half-time. They've got the players on the field. You know, Jones has got the ball down the wing, but his deliveries into the box need to be better. So he either needs to drive a bit quicker and pick somebody out, or we need more players making the runs into the box so the ball can find them. At the moment, you know, neither of the 2 is happening, and in order for them to take advantage of that plan of attack that they're adopting, one of the 2 has to change rapidly.
Crisostomo in the middle of the field has not had the ball at his feet a whole lot tonight. He's a young player who's local products from Fontana, California, played at UC Irvine up the street from this facility. Offers some creativity in the midfield for Braden Cloutier and Orange County SC. Here is Liam Trotter. And now Forrester. Then it goes out of play, much to the chagrin of Forrester, and back to the Switchbacks.
Going into halftime, I think, definitely Colorado will be the happier of the two teams. You're away from home, you're still in the game, very much in the game at 0-0. If you come away from home, more often than not, you're not disheartened if you leave with a point at the end of the game, especially against a side like Orange County. So I think going into the halftime, if it's to say that it's for remaining 10 minutes, Colorado will be the happier of the two teams. I think Orange County definitely need to step it up again if they really have those aspirations of getting their first win this evening.
There is Crisostomo turning it wide. Someone else we haven't seen much of yet tonight is Michael Seton, number 9, top of the screen right now. Forrester trying to feed it to him. He has been somebody, a goal scorer, but also someone who can create chances for others. Have not played through him much tonight. More Darwin Jones. And that ball gets through. He was looking for Liam Trotter. Alston. And again, to the right side for Darwin Jones. Defended by Joan. A through. Dangerous pass. And Argueta finally goes down, and it goes back to Colorado.
Yeah, we've seen Jones out on this right side consistently getting the better of Joan. He's putting 3 or 4 dangerous crosses, but there's just nobody there to get on the end of them to make it happen. There you see another one's coming to the box there. Jack's done fantastic to head that one away, but there was no Orange County player with a passion and desire attacking it to get on the end of it. Jack was almost there on his own to head that one away.
There is Danny Crisostomo. He was the Big West midfielder of the year last season at UC Irvine. And he has not come off the field yet this season. He's played 360 minutes over the first 4 games coming into the night.
Yeah, obviously a key player. He's played every minute. I think he's the player on the field that's completed the most passes as well for Orange County. But now can he get an assist? Can he get a goal? Can he create some of the attacking spark that's needed to take the lead in this game?
Harry Forrester getting some attention from the training staff. It is warm tonight, and really league-wide, we've seen some cramping going on tonight. Probably the warmest conditions that these players have played in all season. Certainly since last year, no doubt about it. Spring is finally here. Yeah,
and I think, the coach isn't going to be looking for an excuse. I think after he told them it was the worst performance, he's looking for a response this evening. I'm not sure he's really got the response they might have wanted in the first half of this game. So it's going to be interesting to see what he says at halftime, how they come out and approach the second half, because I don't think we've really seen a team come out with that passion and intensity so far in this game to really, prove to the coach that the last game was a one out of the blue.
And Jome loses an errant pass, and now a quick throw in for Orange County, who are briefly without Harry Forrester.
Yeah, Jome there just flat-footed, not ready to play, lacks, not really the intensity that the game needs right now.
The Sports Clips 5-game flex package is the perfect ticket program for your busy schedule. You choose the matchups you want to see for the schedule that works for you. Plans start at just $95 per seat. Pick one up at orangecountysoccer.com.
And Jones, of course, he got the equalizer against Phoenix, the set piece last week. But he's had a difficult first half. Jones, you know, has got the better of him 4 or 5 times, getting down that wing and putting in crosses. I think that's something that Colorado are going to want to address early on at half time. You know, stop that service into the box, because sooner or later, you know, those crosses are going to turn into goal scoring opportunities and goals.
Orange County corner kick brought to you by Shell Fuel Rewards. Text now to 83835 to download the app and begin saving on fuel. And they will have another opportunity for a corner here in the closing handful of minutes of the first half. They've had some looks around the area, but nothing too threatening for Abraham Rodriguez, the 16-year-old keeper. Trotter trying to get ahead on it. Instead, it's Jome. And now Chrysostomo wide and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, completely mishit that strike. Ball's rolling out to him, perfect opportunity to hit the target. You never know, it could come off the defender. A forward could get a touch on it into the back of the net, but he's completely shanked that one wide of the goal.
The last few passes for Colorado have not been accurate.
No, but to be fair, that was the goalkeeper playing that 60-yard diagonal pass, and it was pretty impressive. You know, a 16-year-old keeper having that confidence to play the ball out almost like a defensive midfielder. You know, that's the way goalkeepers are playing in the modern game, and it's impressive to see that he already understands what the game requires at the top level.
Forrester, takedown, and a free kick coming. This could potentially be dangerous for Orange County. And you said it, you want to see a goal before halftime. This could be their best chance so far.
Yeah, not the smartest defending there from Reeves. 5 minutes before halftime, the last thing you want to do is go give away cheap free kicks on the edge of the box. Gives Orange County a perfect opportunity for a set piece to get a shot from goal. Can they take the lead just before halftime?
So it'll be Forrester and Van Wolfgang standing over the ball. Van Wolfgang returning to Orange County after he spent the 2018 season in Reno. Bagged 9 goals last season. Of course, Harry Forrester, the pedigree. Standout for the Rangers. Headed on net and flicked in. Darwin Jones breaks the scoreless tie.
And there we go, we just spoke about it. 5 minutes before half time, no need to give away that free kick on the edge of the box. That free kick has turned into a goal scoring opportunity that now has Colorado down 1-0. Perfect opportunity, perfect timing for Orange County to take the lead. I think this may have just changed the tone of the coach's halftime team talk.
Darwin Jones' second goal of the season. It was all set up by this free kick.
And it's a well-worked set piece. You see him just hit the ball diagonally to the back post to Trotter, who knocks it back across. Very easy finish for Jones.
Beautifully executed. And Darwin Jones tallying his second goal of the season. Last year, he only had 2 goals for this Orange County team, back for his second year under head coach Braden Cloutier. And 1-0 now, Orange County.
Yeah, this completely changes the dynamic of the game. Colorado now have to adopt a different approach. You know, they can no longer sit back and allow Orange County to possess the ball and come and attack them. Now they have to be more aggressive and take the game to them. And now you're starting to see a little bit of intensity and urgency in getting the ball back into play.
Could we see some kind of a response from Colorado? Certainly, they have been on the wrong side of the possession over the last 10 minutes, and it's paid dividends for Orange County.
Yeah, and we know Orange County require a win, and they'll take any win. But is the coach going to be comfortable with a 1-0 win, or is he going to tell them, you know, we want more goals? For sure, I know he's going to want to keep a clean sheet, but, you know, now it's going to be interesting to see, do they go and push for more goals, or do they try to protect that lead?
Team that has conceded 11 goals this season, including 5 against Tulsa. They had a 2-0 lead in that match and then gave up 5 unanswered.
Yep. That's definitely one of the most unpredictable results of the early season. It's not something that we would expect to given both teams' records last year, but that's the nature of the game. It's very much unpredictable, and whoever shows up on the night with the right intensity and the right attitude can often become the victorious one.
Patrick Mcclain has not been tested too much tonight. Has seen one shot on net, and it sailed about 5 feet over the top bar.
Yeah. One shot on target when it was harder to miss than it was to score. So maybe that's a telling sign that tonight could be Orange County's night.
Beautiful back heel to Liam Trotter, and now he's wide, organizing for Orange County. Ball comes across, but just a bit too far. Darwin Jones there for it on the right side. Nothing from the referee. Tries to Stomo, to Van Wolfgang. And Seton couldn't quite get it squared up.
Very clever ball there from Van Wolfgang. Everybody is expecting him to drive that one low on the floor across the box. He just hanged up at the far post, and the forward just timed his jump wrong, and he was unable to get on the end of it. But looking better for Orange County going forward now.
And here comes Van Wolfgang again. 2 minutes of extra time here in the first half. Jones tracking him down. Nothing from the referee, play on. The Switchbacks have something in the tank here for this last minute and a half of the first. Pretty comfortable just sort of walking it up the pitch. And really, that's been the theme of the first 45 minutes for Colorado.
Yeah, most certainly at halftime, Colorado want to address the right side of the field. I think Orange County have had the majority of their success coming down the right side of the field, and you know that's been the weakness that they've been able to exploit to create their goal scoring opportunities. They're going to have to make some changes there to ensure it doesn't continue into the second half.
Shane Malcolm wins a throw-in.
Whether it's been Jones on the right side or Van Wolfgang we've seen come out here on the right side in the last 10 minutes, you know, most of the joy they've had has been coming down this side of the field.
Jordan Schweitzer leaves it off for Reeves. Reeves dancing to Burt. And wide again to Shane Malcolm. Numbers forward certainly now for Colorado Springs in the final 30 seconds. And that will give it back to Orange County. It should just about wrap things up here for the first 45 minutes of play.
Yeah, good defending there from Orange County. The defender just got his body across him, shielded the ball out of play, and ended up, you know, receiving a free kick. 2 minutes to go in extra time, just managing the game well, killing the time, killing the momentum, take the 1-0 lead in at halftime.
Halftime from Irvine, California. 45 down, 45 to go, and that man right there has been the difference maker. Darwin Jones, with his second goal of the season, puts Orange County on top 1-0 at home. And a must-win game. You get the sense for Orange County, and that young man at just 16, coming off a Player of the Week between the sticks. I'm sure we'll see adjustments, but it was this goal, partner, that gave Orange County the lead.
What makes my famous brisket, chicken marinade, and punch so good? A lemon lime secret ingredient I'm never going to tell. 7-Up. Who's hungry? Do more with 7. Goal!
take a mile. Just like that.
Goal! Orange County. Oh, it's a world-class goal from Orange County.
Back from Irvine, California, and Championship Soccer Stadium. Orange County on top 1-0 in this home match against Colorado Springs. Look, this is an Orange County team that has struggled with its goalkeeping. They've started 3 different goalkeepers in the last 4 games, trying to get some stability tonight from Patrick Mcclain. But you look there, 11 goals conceded on 17 shots faced coming into the night. Not the best numbers.
Not the best numbers, and only leading 1-0, almost having a goals conceded ratio of 3 goals a game. I don't think 1-0 is enough. You know, they've shown so far this season that they concede goals. And with just 1 goal, 1-0 is not going to be enough to win the game for them at the moment.
Last year, they had this man between the sticks. Andre Rawls was spectacular. 1.13 goals against per 90 minutes and helped take this Orange County team to a place it hadn't been before, the Western Conference Finals. Now this season, Rawls is on the other side. He's playing for Colorado Springs, out tonight, but he'll be back in the lineup within the next couple of weeks. And you just look at what he's been able to accomplish. 29 starts and 10 clean sheets. He's a spectacular keeper and somebody who can be a game changer.
Yeah, obviously Orange County miss him. Both teams essentially miss him. You know, goalkeepers play such a critical part in the organisation, the confidence of a team. You know, a good goalkeeper means the defenders can squeeze up higher because they know they have that safety shield behind them. If there's not that confidence, you normally find that the defenders have a lot of insecurity in the way that they defend.
1-0 lead at halftime for Orange County. Will it be enough, and what adjustments might we see in the second half?
If there's one thing with USL Championship clubs, it's that they have a way to make the experience unique to their clubs. I'm on site here at BBVA Compass Field in Birmingham to talk a little bit about this iron factory they have on site. I'm joined by Marshall, the director of metal arts at Sloss Furnaces. So, Marshall, first off, tell us what an ingot is.
Okay, so an ingot is basically just a unit of iron. Okay. So it's just a way to make the iron portable and mobile and in a manner that can be sold. Okay. So the process that we're going to be doing in-game is a little bit different than the casting process. This is a forge setup. So typically used for blacksmithing. You're typically not trying to completely melt what you're working with. You're just raising the temperature enough that it can be malleable. Okay. So what we're going to be doing throughout the game is taking one of these in our forge and getting it up to temperature red hot and having that on standby so that when we score a goal, we'll take it out of the forge, over to the ingot, and we have a special die with a spark on it off of the Legion logo. Right. And that'll be placed on it and struck with a hammer. It's a 2-man operation. When we're ready, the assistant will take that. They'll take the die and put it in place, and then the other person will strike it with a hammer. So each goal that's scored will get a mark, hopefully a lot of them. Yeah. And so we have one for each game. Okay. So to have the team that they're playing, and so throughout the season, throughout the years, we'll begin to accumulate these and create an iron wall back here with each ingot from the games.
That's going to be amazing. How cool is that for people to come in too and kind of see this little, you know, characteristic of Birmingham? That's awesome. Hammer down! You know, they can tell how hot the steel is by the color.
Got it.
Burning up, red hot.
Halftime at Championship Soccer Stadium in Irvine, California. The home team, Orange County on top. A good sight for a club that has yet to tally 3 points in a win this season. As you take a look at the USL Championship news and notes, the championship on ESPN. Memphis 901 FC will host Atlanta United 2 on Wednesday night, 8 Eastern on ESPN News. Great exposure for the league. A big signing for El Paso. Former U.S. international Jeremy Kieswider makes a move across the pond from his native Germany. And then, of course, the guy that we've been talking about all night, partner, the 16-year-old Abraham Rodriguez, earns Player of the Week honors, the second youngest player ever to do so. In the upcoming schedule this weekend, Orange County will take on Tacoma. Of course, you got Memphis and Atlanta playing on ESPN News. And then tomorrow, Charleston Battery and Charlotte Independence. We will be back with second half action coming up just around the corner. Can the Colorado Springs Switchbacks make a comeback?
At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you.
Give them an inch, they will take a mile. Just like that.
Goal! Orange County. Oh, it's a world-class goal from Orange County.
Back at halftime. Second half kickoff just around the corner. 1-0 lead for Orange County. Couple of chances, Chris, in the first half for both teams, although most of the match so far has been played in the middle of the field.
Yeah, we saw Colorado a very early chance. This should have been 1-0. Ball fizzed across the box, gets his foot on it. Should easily be in the back of the net.
That was the really lone chance of the first half for Colorado Springs. The rest of the half, for the most part, was dominated by possession for Orange County. Patrick Mcclain not tested too many times. What did you like from Colorado Springs, but what can they improve on?
I think if they really want to get themselves back into the game, they have to throw more players forward offensively. So far, it's been very much 1 against almost 4 at the back there so far in the first half. You know, they're going to have to throw some bodies and really test Hume and Leonardo at the back. They've not got the ball in the force, slid down the side of them, or really tested their pace so far early on in this game in 1v1 situations. So if they want to get themselves back in the game, that's something I suggest they look into.
This goal, Darwin Jones, set up by Van Wolfgang. Darwin Jones' second goal of the season. Beautiful ball in.
Yeah, and there's three things that go wrong there for Colorado. The first thing is giving away the free kick. They don't win the first header here. They don't win the second header. The ball ends up in the back of the net. There's nothing the goalkeeper could do about that.
So Darwin Jones, the difference maker, stirring the pot for a team that certainly needs a bit of a spark. As we take a look at the halftime stats brought to you by Pro Sport. What jumps off the page to you there?
Yeah, you can see that the possession's been 50-50. Orange County have obviously managed to get more shots on goal, hence they've got themselves on the score sheet. Colorado, on the other hand, struggling. You know, that's two shots on target at a stretch. You know, the one we can take, the other one was a cross that the keeper came out and collected. So, you know, shots on target is going to be what's going to get them back into this game, and just one in the case of 45 minutes isn't close to being good enough.
Are you surprised at all to see 50-50 possession?
I think early on in the game it was very much heavily in favor of Orange County. I think as the game progressed, Colorado started to get possession, but they just weren't. Neither team was really doing very much with their possession. You know, there's a lot sideways and backwards. We saw Jones, you know, very aggressive, trying to take on Joe and putting some dangerous crosses into the box. But you know, the possession and the tempo and the speed has to be, you know, a lot quicker.
4 different players have scored for the Switchbacks this season, and they're looking for one of those 4, perhaps someone else, to step up and at least tie this game. Currently sitting in 4th in the West with 7 points. And the upcoming schedule for the rest of the week: a couple of games on Wednesday night. Orange County back in action against the Tacoma Defiance. Memphis and Atlanta on national TV, ESPN News, 8 Eastern on Wednesday, and then the Sunday matchup, Charleston Battery and Charlotte Independent. Log on to USLchampionship.com for all game times, those that you see on the screen, and then, of course, around the league as well.
Yeah, it's a big week for Orange County. 2 games in just 4 days. If they're able to collect 6 points, you know, they've completely U-turned the start of the season and then starting to pick up that momentum that the coach has been looking for.
County Line Coalition certainly hoping for a win tonight. And really, when you look at the Switchbacks team, led right there by Jordan Burt, he wears the captain's band, the miracle mustache. Maybe he's the one to sort of break through tonight, but this is a team that has shot 59 shots this season coming into the game.
Yeah.
That's the 6th most in the league. They simply just haven't given themselves the opportunities tonight.
Yeah, and you can see the players on the pitch doing a lot of talking right now, trying to find a solution of how they go about getting themselves back into this game in the second half. And that's good to see that they're not just, you know, accepting or just going through the motions. They're discussing what needs to change in the second half in order to go and get that equalising goal and potentially go on to get a game winner. So hopefully we're looking for a different second half here from both teams.
Cesar Romero, he's a goal scorer. Youngster on loan from a club in Honduras' first division. Shane Malcolm also a goal scorer. He has 3 goals tallied this season. Was USL Player of the Week in March. All 3 of those goals came in the same game. So he had a hat trick against the LA Galaxy second team. And since then has been a bit quiet. Certainly that man right there pleased with the scoreboard, although he'd probably like to have a couple of more goals bagged in by the end of the night.
Yeah, and that's something that the coach has to deal with when he has a squad that's mainly constructed of young players. Young players, you know, they're still trying to learn their trade, still finding their foot in the game, and inconsistency is something, you know, it's a trait that you find in young players, where, you know, they're going to have good games, they're going to have bad games, they're going to have indifferent games sometimes, and it's just being able to guide them through that period so they find that level where they can continuously repeat 80% performances.
Switchbacks start with the ball in the final 45. Jordan Burt coming up from the right back position. Has 2 goals this season. And 15 goals combined over the previous 2 seasons. Has spent his entire USL career with the Switchbacks, the only player on the roster left from that inaugural 2015 season.
And I think the problem has just been highlighted there. Burt picks up the ball almost in the offensive third, faces forward, and there's no forward option for him to pass the ball to. He ends up turning and having to play backwards. You know, they need to get another body maybe up front that gives them a target to pass the ball into, rather than, you know, a lot of backwards and sideways passing.
And part of that could be 3 players who are new to this Orange County, or to this Switchbacks rather, system. Matt Hundley on loan in his first professional season. Mike Seth in his first season spent 2017 and 18 mainly with San Antonio, and then Cesar Romero on loan from Honduras. So you've got 3 players up top who have never played with each other before this season.
Yeah, and you can also see a very isolated figure up top in Romero. It's like one person up there on his own, and with lacking that experience, it's very difficult for him against Leonardo, against Hume. You know, 2 very experienced defenders there. It's a very difficult job for him to manage them on his own.
Not just that, but Hume and Leonardo, big bodies, and you talked about it with me off air. Hume is gigantic. He's 6'5", over 200 pounds. The Dallas, Texas native in his 3rd season.
But the one way that when they played Tulsa were able to find success was they were making runs and rolling the ball down the side of him, and that's where they found the weakness at the back. But Colorado haven't quite recognized that so far in this game.
Here's a chance for Orange County. Van Wolfgang is free as Forrester misses high.
And I think Forrester's been very kind in his reaction there. I think he's been very, very kind, the forward, in his reaction. You know, all he has to do is square that ball across the box, and it's 2-0. Instead, he's been greedy and he's not even hit the target and challenged the goalkeeper.
Can't see it there, but you're absolutely right. Forrester to his left side had Van Wolfgang completely free.
Completely free.
Down the middle of the pitch. Now a ball ahead for Colorado. Matt Hundley on the left side. Defended by Alston. Tapped out. And a corner kick coming for the Switchbacks.
What you end up worrying is, does a moment like that become a defining moment in the game? You know, the game could be now 2-0. Based on that decision, you know, and it was a poor decision from Forrester not to square that ball across. If Colorado now go and get the equalizer, that's where it could come back to. Not taking advantage of that opportunity allowed Colorado to get themselves potentially back into this game.
Darwin Jones mixing it up a little bit there with Ronnie Argueta. And it's out for a goal kick to Patrick Mcclain.
If I was Van Wolfgang, I would have been furious. I imagine the coach on the sidelines furious.
What's the worst you've ever gotten mad at a teammate?
I don't know. I could get probably something small. Probably wasn't something as big as that.
So if Chris Nurse had a chance free and you didn't receive the ball, your teammate's getting a talking to.
Nah, I probably was never that high up the pitch to be in that position.
Darwin Jones has certainly been high up the pitch all night. Looking for Seton there, but walled off, and back to Shane Malcolm, slipping. And Burt punches it up the field.
And as you were mentioning about, you know, a lot of rookies and first-year players in the team, adversity is something that they have to learn to do with also as they grow and develop in the game. You know, when you go a goal down, it takes experience to know how to come back, how to manage the game, you know, how to get yourself back into the game when the odds are against you. And that's something that these players are going to learn and develop through the course of their careers over time.
Set piece opportunity for Colorado Springs, and you see the jumbling on the back line for Orange County, maybe some confusion. Certainly there's been struggles this year for that side of this team. 11 goals conceded, tied for the most in the USL Championship. Joan. Don't forget to join us on Wednesday, April 10th, when the newly named Tacoma Defiance, formerly Seattle Sounders 2, take action. Pick up tickets at orangecountysoccer.com. That game is on Wednesday night in Orange County. Should be a good one.
Good switch of play there from Forrester to Jones.
Forrester. And one back by Jordy Burt.
You can see Orange County managing the game. They're in no rush to get the ball back into play. You know, they're in the lead, they're taking their time. Colorado, on the other hand, they're the ones who need to push the tempo of the game.
Back to Owusu-Ansah. And all the way back to Jose Leonardo. Over 140 appearances in the MLS for Leonardo.
And that's the problem. You see how comfortable and easy and unpressured it was for Leonardo to bring that ball down and play forward. Same thing's been for Hume when he gets the ball. You know, they're so comfortable and unpressured. Defenders haven't really been tested so far in this game for Orange County. You know, they need to make a tactical change to really put these defenders under pressure and find out, you know, can they defend? So far, it's been a very comfortable, easy night for the centre-back pairing.
Mike Seth went down hard on that last collision, and now talking to from Vidal. No card here, though.
Yeah, I didn't really see a foul there, in all honesty.
You just brought up a good point about sort of the ease and composure of this back line. Certainly plenty of experience on it for Orange County, especially with Leonardo back, but his fitness is untested in this match, and he comes in not really having a preseason.
Exactly, and you know, they've not tested the back line really over the course of the game. The early scare that they had, you know, I think that's where they would find success if they continue to do that, but they didn't really continue to do what worked well on that occasion throughout the course of the game.
Then Wolfgang taken down, easy call for Vidal. Shane Malcolm, the offender, and it's a restart coming for Orange County. And Van Wolfgang perfectly content to let some more seconds melt away.
And we've spoken about the size of Orange County's defenders, but they possess that same size when they're also in attack.
Headed into the area, testing Abraham Rodriguez.
We also almost saw a repeat of the exact same set piece that they scored the goal. The diagonal ball.
Forrester testing.
Forrester then ripped there from distance and not too far away. I think if he scored that one, he might have redeemed that one for the one that he didn't score earlier in the game.
Just wide, certainly enough to make Abraham Rodriguez follow it all the way past the sticks. Ronnie Argueta trying to build something here for the Switchbacks. Shane Malcolm through. Here's a chance for Seth. And nothing doing.
Yeah, you almost thought Seth needed to be a little bit more positive with his first touch there. The ball's, he's in behind the back four. Can he take his first touch across the defender and get a shot off on goal?
Mike Seth hasn't scored a goal yet this year. 2 assists.
Be ready. Balance.
But hasn't been that goal-scoring threat.
But there you saw the potential of how you're going to get goal-scoring opportunities against this back line. Roll the ball down the sides of them, get runners at speed, and you'll get opportunities at the goal. That's the first time that they've been tested to actually defend, and should have been a goal-scoring opportunity.
There's Romero. Hundley. Been ambitious from well beyond the 18.
Not a bad effort, but that's the first time, I believe, probably in the second half that we've actually seen Colorado go forward. Probably the first time that we've seen Mcclain have to make a save or catch the ball in probably the past half an hour in the game.
Switchbacks come in with 7 points, good for 4th in the West. Orange County, one of just a couple of teams who have yet to tally 3 points. Just 2 points so far with 2 draws and 2 losses. One back by Shane Malcolm. Wide to Romero, bodies coming forward and stopped in his tracks. And there's the test of the back line, and they come up big for Orange County.
Picked off very easily. Good experience defending there from Leonardo. He's picked his pocket, driven the ball forward, and he's continued his run here.
Here's Forrester with space. Game starting to stretch out a bit here. Darwin Jones, and he bags a goal. His second of the match and his third of the season.
That ball just looked to take an unfortunate deflection and found itself into the corner. Rodriguez completely unable to get close to it, scrambling across his goal line, but ball nestles itself into the bottom corner of the goal, and I think Orange County would be relieved to finally have got that second goal.
Caught everybody by surprise. You look at everyone sort of just standing around. I don't think many thought that that was going to find the back of net.
Yeah, it took
it might have even hit a deflection.
A wicked deflection and skidded up off the surface, but well done for Jones for taking the shot. If you don't shoot, you can't score, and he's been the one who's pulled the cannon on the most occasions in this game and has got himself on the score sheet twice.
And now somebody that you talked about, Aidan Quinn, will come in for Harry Forrester. First time that we've seen Quinn in a couple of games. He was out for 2 with an injury, and he has a real nose for goal.
Yeah, you know, you spoke about the statistics that he had last season. One of the league's top goal scorers, one of the league's top assists, and coming into the last 30 minutes of this game is going to be interesting to see if he can regain that form that he had from last season and start to help this team kick on.
Aidan Quinn substitution brought to you by Big Ones Inc. 2-0 lead for Orange County. Will it be enough? Certainly the way that the game has gone thus far would give you the indication that it might be enough for 3 points. Darwin Jones, the man of the match, without question to this point. 2 goals and his third of the season. And Jones really seems to have found a home in Orange County. Spent part of last season with IFK Värnamo, the Swedish second division. Finished up the year with Orange County, 2 goals in 13 games, and back for a full season this year.
Yeah, and we spoke about, you know, his offensive output, how he was the one driving down on the right side, putting balls into the box. But on top of putting those balls into the box and trying to create goal scoring opportunities for others, he actually got himself on the score sheet twice in this game. So he's had a fantastic evening, and it's turning out to be a very big player for Orange County.
And now we must see a sense of urgency from Colorado Springs.
Yeah,
saw it recently before that goal from Darwin Jones.
The urgency, they have to get the ball forward and play in this area. They need to play in the attacking third.
Wide to Jordan Burt. Romero to Joan. Hundley. And poked away by Chrysostomo.
Hundley, on a few occasions we spoke about Hundley's, you know, he has good feet, but there's no end product at the end of the dribbles. There's a dribble, it looks very good, but there's a lack of threat or any kind of final end product at the end of it, and I think that's something he's going to have to add to his game.
And now Alex Milano will come on for Matt Hundley. The 18-year-old coming off after his second consecutive professional start, the first 2 of his young and certainly what many hope and predict to be a long and illustrious career.
Yeah, as a youngster, you know, the game is very difficult and different in senior men's football than it is at the youth level, and I think, you know, he's shown potential. It's going to be interesting to see how he nurtures and he grows and he develops that potential over the years. But, you know, he's shown that he has ability on the ball, he has good feet. Now he has to maximize that at the senior level into goal scoring opportunities and end products. He's probably already done that at the youth level. That's why he's been given this opportunity. But now at the senior level, it's a next step up.
What's the toughest part about transitioning from that youth game to now playing against grown men?
The IQ. You know, as a youngster, you may be faster physically, you know, but players are mentally ahead of you upstairs. You know, some people compare it to snooker, you know, or pool. Pool players, they see their shot 3 steps ahead. You know, soccer can be the same. You know, a good player in their older years, they see the game develop 3 passes ahead than a younger player who may only see 1 pass. A good player is thinking 3 or 4 stages ahead of the next phase of play.
Are you a hustler on the pool table?
I'm not good at that game.
Me neither.
But from a tactical standpoint, you know, there's very similarities of the game, you know, being able to see the game 3 passes ahead and being able to find yourself in space. You know, it's a key skill that's very much underrated. You know, you see players on the ball and they have time, and you wonder how some players get the ball and they never have time. You know, it's a very key skill, being able to put yourself in a position and your body position and the angle that you receive the ball to allow yourself to have time on the ball.
Romero certainly has had his fair share of touches in the second half, but swarmed, and again, nobody really supporting Romero, and it goes back to Orange County. And Darwin Jones loses it out. Back to Milano, a quick throw.
Interested to see if Colorado commit more bodies forward in the latter stages of this game. You know, maybe they switch and they put 2 up front, or maybe they opt to put 3 up front, or, you know, try to be a little bit more aggressive and take the game to Orange County in the final stages of this game.
Jones. Malcolm. Wide to Burt.
And you see Orange County have dropped their line very deep now. The defense are literally on the edge of the 8-yard box. So there's not very much space to play the ball over the top in behind. You know, now they're going to have to, you know, get the ball forward and maybe take long shots, get the ball wide, put crosses into the box. They're going to have to adapt their game plan to create goal scoring opportunities, because being able to find the ball over the top just not going to be able to happen when the Orange County defense is pitched so far back.
Quinn chasing Reeves back. And all the way back to Rodriguez.
There's the huge difference. When the Colorado defenders pick up the ball, they're almost under pressure immediately from the Orange County forwards. Whereas on the reverse, we've seen Leonardo and Hume pick up the ball and almost be able to have a cigar with before they pick the pass that they're going to play forward. And that's different. If you win the ball high up, you can immediately turn that possession into a goal scoring opportunity, where if you're very deep and you win the ball, you know, you still have to go through the build-up before you get close to goal.
Back the other way. Here comes Wolfgang. And now up ahead to Seton. Quinn wrestling. And it goes out of play. And out for a goal kick. Still a lot of time left, but you do get the sense that this Colorado Springs team is playing on its heels.
Yeah, they're not. You have to give them credit. They're not really deviating from their game plan, but passing the ball from your defenders back to the goalkeeper is not going to get you 3 goals in the last 25 minutes of the game, especially when Orange County is sitting back. They're not committing bodies forward. They're not really getting frustrated and somebody's coming out chasing, so holes are developing behind them. You know, you have to find a game plan where you can get the ball forward, and that means you have to play forward passes in between the lines. You know, you need players who are going to be brave to come and ask for the ball and pick up the ball maybe when they're under pressure, and that's what Colorado need to do to get themselves back into this now.
Milano. And a whistle. And it's off the ball, and it gives it back to Orange County. And a substitution. Cesar Romero comes off, and the 23-year-old Ghanaian Kwasi Dansu coming on, trying to get some goal-scoring production up top. His first season in the States. He's played in the Premier League in Ghana the last 2 seasons and has been one of the top goal scorers. 22 goals scored in 39 games played for Dansu.
Yeah, I think a goal threat is definitely needed for Colorado. It'd be interesting to see if he can come on and provide that.
Milano taking the corner, brought to you by Shell Fuel Rewards. Text now, 83835. That's 83835 to download the app and begin saving on fuel.
Fantastic header there from Seton from the corner kick. Won the header and actually then chased his header out of play. You know, fantastic commitment and desire from the player. There you see him get up at the near post, and then he's actually the first one to go and chase the header after he wins it. That's the highlight. You know, he picks up the ball in the middle. He actually has time to get the ball down and turn and play forward. They end up playing a negative pass back to the goalkeeper. You know, there's possession, and then there's possession with a purpose. And the purpose that Colorado have in this game is to get goals. You know, passing the ball is to create goal scoring, to get goals. Playing the ball around your back when you're 2-0 down, Orange County will be very happy with that.
What can be done to change that? Is it simply mentality, or is it?
I think the players need to take it on board and understand for themselves. You know, they need to play at a higher tempo. They need to receive the ball in the half turn, and on the half turn, they need to look forward. The first option has to be to play a forward pass. If you can't play a forward pass, then of course you don't want to give away possession. You keep the ball, you recycle. But they're not getting the ball in the half turn to play that ball forward quick enough. And then Orange County are closing them down, and they're having to play negative.
Throw in for Kevin Alston. His second season with Orange County. And another player like Jose Leonardo, over 150 MLS caps with the Revolution and then more recently with Orlando City. And here's a ball through. Michael Seton blocked away by Rodriguez.
Big save there from Rodriguez. That would have been 3-0. Seton there picking up the ball, a nice strike on goal, but keeper rose to the occasion.
Dansu, and a beautiful deflection on the back line again, and it leads to a chance for Van Wolfgang. Seton playing it back to Quinn, and now Van Wolfgang. Jones across the mouth and out of play.
Brilliant delivery into the ball there from Jones. All he needs is somebody just to be attacking that back post. Is the first big save there from Rodriguez against Seton. But the delivery into the box there from Jones. Very, very nice delivery. All needed for somebody making the run, cross goal at the back post, and it's an easy tap in.
That save from Rodriguez certainly will be up for save of the week. He just came off player of the week.
Yeah, most certainly. He has big moments in games, and I think that was a big moment going into the last 20 minutes. Had it gone in this 3-0, I think it's game over. I think making that save and still 0, it still gives Colorado some stake in the game.
Even with a 2-0 lead, still a sense of urgency, pressure up top from Orange County. They've not taken the gas. Their foot's off the gas. Here is Shane Malcolm. And a big takedown on the right side. That was Walker Hume.
It's a well-timed tackle from Hume there. He's just watched him come in. Foot, it's all ball. He's barely got any of the player. Fantastic tackle.
There's that 6'5" length coming into play right there. Wide to Jones. And now Romero. Burt on the edge of the box. Into Milano, and a shot on goal from Dansu. Corralled by Patrick Mcclain.
That's two big saves from both keepers there. If Colorado scored that and got themselves on the score sheet at that point in the game, it would have been a very interesting last 20 minutes.
Yeah, Mcclain appears to be a bit shaken up, and that's the last thing you want to see. If you're Orange County, they already are down a keeper in Andre Rawls.
Keeper's done exceptionally well with that, with just the outstretched hand that's destined for the back of the net. It's a brilliant save there.
Patrick Mcclain is an interesting story. Was with the Chicago Fire last season and expected to finally break through and be a starting keeper for the first time in his MLS career at 29 years old. And then 3 games in, a hamstring injury that sidelined him for the rest of the season. And was a late signing this year for Braden Cloutier, who said he didn't want to just jump the gun on any keeper. He sort of waited out the process and did his homework on Patrick Mcclain and decided that he would be the best fit for the club, and really hoping that he can help them get back to a Western Conference final.
Yeah, and I think the playing the waiting games paid off. You know, goalkeeper is such a key part of being a successful team and being able to really push for titles and challenge for championships. And I think they've managed to get a very quality, experienced goalkeeper who's going to help them.
This is a guy who before last season, when he made 3 starts for Chicago Fire, had made just 3 appearances over 4 seasons in the MLS. And now thankful to be in a starting role on a team that expects to be a championship contender in Orange County. Van Wolfgang slipping it through, but at the feet of Argueta.
And it's always very tough for goalkeepers, because if you're not a #1 goalkeeper, it's not like an outfield player where, you know, a coach might sub you on in the 60th minute or the 20th minute. You know, if you're not the first choice, the chances are you see very little of the field. So it's always hard being a #2, and again, that's another factor that plays in the psychology of goalkeepers. You know, if you're not the starting, your chances of playing are very much limited, and something that you have to be able to accept and deal with, and still be able and ready to take your opportunity when the situation arises.
Van Wolfgang takes down Malcolm. Quick restart.
Left shoulder, Jerry. Left shoulder, contour. Back in, Mike. Follow him, Mike.
Jones, fancy footwork, nothing doing at the end of that pass, and cleared away.
Two against 2 here. Oh, just too much on that pass from Seton. Just weighted that pass way too heavy, straight into the goalkeeper's hands.
Milano. Crisostomo goes right around Milano. Mcclain, 30 years old, handpicked by Braden Cloutier. Hasn't been tested a ton tonight, but when he has been, he's come up big. Perhaps might be tested again here. Malcolm across and could not square it up. I believe that was Romero, and it just dinked off the end of his foot.
Fantastic skill from Malcolm. Drives down at pace, beats his man, puts a beautiful delivery into the box. All the forward has to do is take a touch and find on the corners. lacks a bit of composure in front of goal and wastes a fantastic opportunity for Colorado to get themselves back into this game.
Vinicio DePaula coming on for Michael Seton. Charlie Adams coming on for Liam Trotter. So a couple of substitutions, and that'll do it for Orange County. Our third substitution of the night, and all of them come in the midfield.
Yeah, and I believe Vinicius is also one of Orange County's new signings, and it interesting to see how he beds himself into this team. Coach obviously giving him an opportunity to stake a claim for a starting position, and now's a fantastic time for him to grab hold of that with both hands and see if he can give the coach some more selection headaches going into Wednesday's game.
DePaula, just 20 years old, the Brazilian, made his pro debut in his native Brazil at 17. Last year played in 11 games, and get this, partner, he scored 12 goals. He has a real nose for the back of net.
Again, we've highlighted that Orange County have a number of offensive weapons going forward. They just needed to be able to stop the rot at the back and stop conceding goals. And so far, 77 minutes so far in this game, they've done well. They've done well. It's not been perfect. Colorado still had some chances that they probably should have scored, but in terms of being able to build confidence, a clean sheet is absolutely massive and necessary for Orange County.
Not much time left for the Switchbacks to make something of this second half.
And switching back is the right word. We've just seen them, centre-backs pass the ball side to side 6 times. 7 times.
But who's counting? It's sort of been that type of night, really, all night. I mean, they've had some chances here and there. Early in the first half, we saw a couple, one really good chance, but nothing consistent. But on the other side, we've seen consistent pressure from Orange County.
I mean, they need to recognize what's going to get them back into the game, what's going to create goal-scoring opportunities. And 7 passes between your 2 centre-backs isn't going to be that's not going to be the plan.
Wolfgang running free. Into the middle for Chrysostomo. And Burt clears it away. Quinn. In the middle.
If you're Orange County, on the other hand, and you're in the lead 2-0 and there's 10 minutes left in the game, then playing 7 passes between your 2 centre-backs is exactly what you want to do, because all you want to do is kill the time, keep possession of the ball, make the other team work hard and chase. But when you're chasing the game, you've got to play forward with urgency. You've got to move the ball quickly, and they've not recognised the opportunity to do that so far in this game, Colorado, in the second half.
You can hear Steve Tritschou not pleased with some of the play up top tonight.
Yep, you can see they had good possession of the ball there, and they've needlessly given it back to the opposition instead of being able to be patient in the final third. That's where they should be connecting their passes once they get into the offensive third and find their way towards goal.
Here's a run from Darwin Jones. He already has 2 goals tonight. Into the area. Jones, nifty, has a hit, and just a bit too close to the near side post.
Jones has had an absolute field day out on that right side. He's had an absolute field day on the right side of the field in this game so far. Beautiful footwork. He should have gone across the keeper. You see him absolutely chop the defender to pieces, and Colorado fortunate to find themselves another goal down in this game.
Jones enjoying being back in an attacking role after he had to be in the middle due to injury. Switchbacks taking on Reno on Saturday at 8 p.m. Not an easy stretch upcoming for Colorado Springs. They've got Portland Timbers and then Tulsa, who's really been the surprise of the Western Conference this season. They beat this Orange County team 5-2 earlier. They find themselves at the top of the table.
Yeah, Tulsa, a team coming back this year with only 2 players on the roster that remained from last year, so completely different outlook in the Tulsa locker room, and they've started the season very well. Be interested to see if they can maintain that momentum for the remainder.
Under 10 minutes remain in regulation. Orange County can taste it now. First win moments away. Coming in the bottom 4 at 0-2-2. This win will give them 3 points and get them to 5 points on the season. And just to have that one win under your belt,
it's a sigh of relief. You know, that it's when you start a new season, the first thing that you want to achieve is to get that first 3 points, to get that first win where you can say, okay, you know, all the hard work was worth it, because all the preseason, that's what you train for. You train to win matches, and once you get into the season and you get that first win, then it helps you to build your confidence to say, okay, you know, we've arrived. And I think that's what this will allow them to do, is to finally, you know, take a deep breath and, okay, we've arrived, the season started, you know, let's see if we can kick on from here.
Goal kick for Patrick Mcclain. Boy, that was testy. Nervy moments in front of net for Rodriguez. And there's been a couple of those unexpected opportunities in front of net tonight for Orange County.
That's fantastic play from the forward, though, to close down and drive at that speed and determination. Most forwards normally at that stage of the game, you know, they drop off, they let the goalkeeper have it and keep their shape. But, you know, he thought there's an opportunity there to almost steal a goal off the goalkeeper's clearance, and he wasn't far away.
That was DePaula trying to get in on the scoring action. And now a restart and a set-piece opportunity. Orange County will host another home match on Wednesday night against Tacoma before hitting the road for a 2-game swing at Oklahoma City and Fresno. And you talked about it earlier, to come away with 6 points in back-to-back home matches, that would be huge for Orange County.
Yeah, complete U-turn to the start of the season that they have if they can pull off those 2 victories in the space of 4 days.
Not out of danger yet, and now a foul is called, and back the other way. Just some housekeeping. Patrick Mcclain was issued a yellow card in the 84th minute for a delay of game.
Yeah, and I was just about to say, you know, it's been a very friendly, nice game. You know, there's not really been any, you know, bad tackles, any late tackles, any kind of ill feeling between the two teams. And we had our first yellow card of the game. But
and now Van Wolfgang stopped as he was progressing towards net, and an even closer set piece now coming right in front of goal for Orange County. Will it be Aidan Quinn or Jerry Van Wolfgang, who's still in search of his first goal of the 2019 campaign?
We know that Quinn is very much the dead ball specialist in the team. You know, he takes the set pieces, he takes corners, he takes penalty kicks. I'm sure he wants to get himself on the score sheet in this game.
Quinn, a chance at a rebound, just wide.
Almost had a chance there from the rebound.
Substitution coming for Colorado. Ibrahim Yarrow coming on, Chris Reeves coming off. Yarrow, the 22-year-old Ghanaian, one of a couple of Ghanaian nationals on this club this season. And his first season playing in the United States, but a couple of seasons in Ghana. He's on loan this year from a club in the Ghanaian Premier League.
It just looks like a like-for-like substitute. I thought the coach may have been bringing off a defender and putting on a forward, but it seems like he brought off a defender and put a defender on, so a very like-for-like substitution.
Give him some experience here and some mop-up minutes.
Yeah, I guess, you know, the coach may have conceded that this result may be what it is and give some players some experience towards the latter stage of the game.
If the score should stand, Switchbacks would move to 2-2-1 in the conference. Whereas Orange County, picking up its first win, would go to 1-2-2 and move up from that bottom 3 spot in the West. A lot of season left to play, of course, but a good win nonetheless. Get the monkey off the back. And what would you say, what are your impressions of how this team has gelled together here in the second half?
I mean,
by the way, Adams just picking up a yellow card, so 2 yellows in the last few minutes for Orange County for seemingly ticky-tacky things.
Yeah, I mean, Orange County are a team that you look at their roster and you expect big things based upon the experience that they have in their team, based upon some of the offensive weapons that they have, based upon the success that they had this season. And they've not quite hit the ground running so early in this season so far.
Here's a chance, and a ball just wide. Beautiful ball played in by Jordan Burt, and Kwasi Dansu just couldn't find the back of the net, and that has happened a couple of times tonight.
Yeah, all being said, you know, as well as Orange County have done in this game, they've had 2 opportunities, Colorado, in the past 10 minutes to be 2-2 level. And we've spoken out, Orange County concede goals. You know, they haven't conceded, but the opportunities are still there. And if the finishing was a little bit better, again, you know, it's a game where they could have conceded multiple times.
2 minutes away from their first clean sheet of the season. And you know Braden Cloutier would love to see that.
Yeah, and again, if you look at the success where Colorado are finding those goal opportunities, it's rolling the balls down the side of the centre-backs, but they've not done it consistently enough throughout the course of the game to be able to capitalise on it. But, you know, that's something they needed to do early up, probably more in the first half, and probably a little bit sooner in the second half in this game.
And a takedown. And another set piece coming on the edge of the 18, and a yellow card has been issued to, I believe, Ibrahim Yarrow.
Yeah, as the forward beats him there, he just swings his arms across the body, and you just see him connect just around the elbow area. The referee's rightfully right to call the free kick there. His arms are just a little bit too high.
Closing moments, and what will be the first victory of the season for Orange County. Well within striking distance to bag another. It would be their 10th goal of the season. They've already tallied 7 coming into the night.
And you have Hume and Leonardo both up in the box for this set piece.
Back post and nobody home. Bit too much behind that. And Rodriguez hustling. We've been told 2 minutes of stoppage time from Malik Badal.
Yeah, there weren't too many injuries or stoppages that played throughout this. I think they may just be given for the number of substitutions that took place. I think we can probably safely say it's an Orange County evening. They finally got that victory they were searching for, and in 90 seconds they may have also got themselves that clean sheet.
purely academic here in these closing moments. Now it's just about maintaining the clean sheet for Orange County. It'd be the first of the season for a team who has conceded 11 goals, tied for the most in the USL Championship, to get a home win and a clean sheet. Double whammy.
Yeah, very important for the confidence of the players and the confidence of the team, and to reinstall some faith and belief in the fans and the organisation that this team still has the same ambition and potential that they had last year.
Tons of new faces, lots of jostling with the starting 11 due to injury, due to new players coming in, guys who missed the preseason, players on loan from Colorado. So a lot of variables to start the year for Colorado. And then, of course, they're a team who have 11 significant new faces, but the same could be said for Orange County. And certainly Braden Cloutier told that to us. He said, look, it's going to take some time for this team to gel together. We've got a lot of new players, especially up top, who have never played with each other before. And certainly will be pleased with this result. 3 points for Orange County and a happy manager right there. 1 home win, and hopefully we'll try to get another on Wednesday night. A 2-0 victory and a big 3 points at home.
Yeah, a big sigh of relief for Orange County. You can see the smile on those faces. None more than Darwin Jones, who is
the man of the match, presented by Body Armor. Darwin Jones, 2 goals, his second and third of the season.
Yeah, 2 goals and a fantastic evening all in all. Consistent threat and thorn in the side of Colorado on the right-hand side. Was whipping in balls, taking people on, always being positive in possession of the ball. Rightfully got himself on the score sheet, and I think he deserves to be man of the match this evening.
And a happy goalkeeper in Patrick Mcclain, the first clean sheet of the season for Orange County. It's a 2-0 victory from Irvine, California. We'll come back with full match highlights and stats after this.
The Orange County Soccer Club Pro Experience membership, designed to accelerate your training and enable you to reach the professional performance levels of the biggest leagues around the world. Membership includes free tickets to 7 home matches, training sessions with coaches and technical director Franz Hoek, live events with leading soccer minds like Brad Friedel, Raphael Wicki, and Keisuke Honda, and many additional benefits. Go to orangecountysoccer.com/pro experience.
At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you.
The County Line Coalition pumped up after a 2-0 victory thanks to 2 goals from Darwin Jones. A big 3 points for Orange County, and smiles abound as we take a look at tonight's highlights, brought to you by 7-Up. Do more with 7-Up, and certainly the second half dominated by OCSC.
Yeah, most certainly. Here was the first goal. The ball diagonal to the back post, header across from Trotter. Jones just finds himself on the end of it. Very easy goal. 1-0.
That was his first of a pair, leading to his 3rd goal of the season, and certainly excited to be back up top in his scoring position. you talked about it earlier. He just completely dominated the right side of the pitch tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't the best night for Jerome at left back for Colorado, but Jones made it very, very difficult for him and was also always a threat down that side of the field.
Big save here from Abraham Rodriguez, coming off Player of the Week honors. The 16-year-old continues to dazzle.
Yeah, he made a big save here when it was just 2-0 in the game. Kept his side in it, but I think he had a lot to be positive for in this game. I don't think he was at fault for any of the goals. This one took a wicked deflection, and there's not much he could have done about that.
Darwin Jones, that was his second, a knuckleball through the left side. Here's one more look at it.
Just maybe deflects twice in there before it gets to the keeper. He has no chance on getting ended on the end of that.
Smiles around for a team that was desperate for 3 points. Of course, the faithful pumped up as we take a look at our full match stats brought to you by Pro Sports. And even though they were the lesser in terms of possession, they made more of the chances that they had with 13 shots, 5 on target.
Yeah, and we spoke about the possession that Colorado were having. It was a lot of sideways, backwards. Orange County were content to let them have it in the defense because it wasn't really hurting them or penetrating them. And as we said, if they're going to be a team that possesses, they need to possess with a purpose and intensity if they're going to make it count.
Full 90 through, and a win for Orange County. They go home winners, 2-0 from Irvine, California. For Chris Nurse, I'm Matt Schumacher, and our producer Wes Zientek, and our entire crew at Vista World Link saying so long from Irvine, California. Orange County, a big 3 points at home, 2-0 winners over the Switchbacks of Colorado Springs.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.